pages. Most of them pretty common. On page 6, I do want to point out we did have to pay our architecture for the finalization of the hardware and the floor tile replacement. So that was his fee for that project. Again, last summer funding year, but we paid it on this year's. Our Press Plus subscription to help us keep up to date with our board policies. That's a reoccurring fee that we have every year. Well worth it, well worth it. On page 7, we did spend a little over $1,000 for pea gravel. Our gravel out there, I mean, the rain, the erosion, that gravel has to be 9 inches thick. So we had to come in and add some more of that. Paid quite a bit for HVAC change-out units. This is something every year that we've done since Dr. Trampy was here. And so, again, we're paying that on this fiscal year instead of last year's. I'm really going to be on that. So hopefully you won't have to hear that too much. So if you would switch to section C on my report. So on my communication, since we had our first snow day, students were real upset. You wouldn't believe the number of phone calls and texts I received from them saying, "No, we want to come to school. We want to come to school." No, I didn't receive someone. But I was able to finish up the kitchen equipment grant. This is one that Mrs. Waddell wrote last year, and we did get a few items. So our chances for this year are not as high, but still, I didn't ask for the full amount, so I'm hoping that we'll still be in the running. I asked for a little over $32,000. Our current walk-in freezer, and we have 2 ranges that are over 49 years old. Here at the high school, one does not even work. I'm asking for those to be replaced, so hopefully they'll have pity on us. Decide to.
Did you tell them they were over 49 years old?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right. The bus routes. I just want you all aware that there is the possibility of some changes in the routes due to 2 new students in our district. The students live close to Vienna, so this has increased that route by 20 minutes to go all the way. I mean, they're right on the Vienna.
West Farm Village or whatever.
Yes, yes. So that's 20 extra minutes. So we're trying to move a couple of the students so that they're not on the bus that long. So just to let you all know, we do have that bus that travels out there, that are only 15 students on there. So hopefully we'll be able to move a couple around. It'll be just a small route. As Terry mentioned about our e-report cards, I don't want to repeat what she said, but I do want to point out again that both junior and senior high school in Maple Grove are rated as commendable. This means performance is in the top 90% of all schools. High schools have a graduation rate higher than 67%, and the school does not have any underperforming student groups at or below the all student groups in the lowest performing 5% of all schools. That's a mouthful, that last part of it, and that's why it's so complicated. But so I want to say congratulations to the students, and I also want to congratulate everyone that played a part in supporting our students, from the custodian to the cooks to the aides to parents, everyone. So thank you. We have tonight we're going to discuss a new course opportunity. Joe Basham, he is our security resource officer. He has completed the paperwork for a provisional certificate in construction and trades. The Regional Office of Education is willing to work with us to expedite any paperwork. So hopefully we can look at this as an option for our students. We'll talk more about that. Also, our building and grounds. We're currently getting bids for HVAC change-out units over spring break and not this summer. So we're trying to get those in. All 3 units will be in the junior high hallway. We currently have boiler heat and window AC units down this hallway. So So we will install mini split systems. So each unit will have heat and air. The ground units will be placed in the courtyard, so they are going to be on the outside with the airflow units in the classroom. The high school gym floor will be refinished over Christmas break. This process usually takes about 2 full weeks. We have always had Kenny Myers with Myers Floor Service, and we've been well pleased in the past, and so he will be doing that over Christmas break. The property tax relief grant application period is now open. The evidence-based funding property tax relief grant application period is open to all districts that are interested. The state board will provide up to $53.65 million in property tax relief grants to eligible school districts. This begins in 2020. Districts are ranked by their percent of district organization type average eligible. Districts must agree to abate a portion of taxes up to a statutory limit in the coming 2 tax cycles. In return, qualifying districts may receive a state grant in an amount that is a proportion of the tax relief provided. Okay, let me tell you where we ranked in that. I did look that up. This was introduced last year. I am going to recommend that we go ahead and apply and move forward with sending and completing the grant, sending it to the state. The money, of course, is distributed in order of most need. Presently, out of 868 schools, districts, we are ranked 470. So our chances are not very good at 470. So our maximum tax abatement is $183,693. So even though our odds are not very good, I think it's something that we need to continue to send that message, yes. If there's ever an opportunity for us to lower our taxes, we wanted to take advantage of it. So I would asking to go ahead and apply for that grant tonight. I have supplied you with a tentative tax levy. I've asked you to review the resolution and spreadsheet illustrating the tentative tax levy for this year, payable fiscal year 2021. I will recommend adopting a final version at the December meeting. The board's tax levy must be filed with the county clerk by the last Tuesday in December. I will file this on the Tuesday after our December 16th board meeting. I have included a recommended extension of 4.97% for your review. Please remember that we will again have a withholding from the county. Next year, it should be $20,182.34. Please compare the recommended prior year extension column to the prorated extension based on the prior year extension and the manual override columns. You'll notice that I am recommending we increase the amount in the Ed Fund, and I'm recommending we increase our request in the Special Education Fund. The total increase in all funds is 4.97%, which is close to the maximum allowed by law of 5% without a hearing. The Consumer Price Index is 1.9% this year, which is a decrease from the 2.1% last year. I do not recommend exceeding the 5% and having a truth and taxation hearing. The total funds levied is an increase over last year's extension, which was $79,620. This year it's $83,866.25. So this, again, is a total increase of 4.9%. The EAV and the new property growth has traditionally only been about 1 to 2%. This year it is at 0.72%. So not much growth at all. So actual extension will probably, be closer to 1,720,864 compared to the prior year, which again is pretty close at $1,687,864. So again, that's just an increase of 31,000, or 31,231,474. So as we all are aware, PTEL should limit the actual increase in property tax extension to 5%, or the increase in the consumer price index, also called the CPI, whichever is less. Okay. So our financial report, if you will look, this will help us on the next page. This is somewhat, I would say, a typical November, maybe even a little bit higher. So we have received about 48% of our anticipated revenues and expended about 28%. So right now, we're at 33% for the fiscal year. So that's pretty good. When you look at those numbers, that's pretty good.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I think there may be a typo in here, so before we get anybody really concerned, we're not having an increase of 31 million.
Oh, no, you were right. That's 31,000. My decimal is.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we may be off a decimal place,
You are
so.
so right. It's
That would be a nice
31,200.
Yeah, but I just didn't want anybody to have a slight heart attack there.
Thank you. You're welcome. Let's put a decimal point in there. I just kept rolling with that, didn't I? Thank you. Thank you. So one thing I do want to make you aware of on the treasury report, I know sometimes when we see those negative numbers, we get really nervous. But now on this treasury report, we're comparing fiscal year 19 with 18. And when you look at the O&M fund, yes, that is something we've talked about, how that definitely is going to be a decrease, because we've had expenditures from last year carry over to this year. The transportation is a little bit misleading. We are lower than last year, but remember we have a new bid process. Our transportation costs did go down, so therefore we did not put as much in our transportation fund. So to me, when that 62, we are less than last year, but we're still within our range that we're supposed to be. All right, consent agenda items. So, on the consent agenda, do I read this or can you read this? Do I go ahead and read this? Okay, so I'm asking approval of the regular board meeting minutes from 10/26, approval of the financial reports, approval of the policy updates. Last month we had the first read. They were very common, small changes for this time. Approval of extracurricular positions. We only had the one, and that was for the junior varsity basketball boys position, and approval of the purchase of gift cards. This is a long-time standing tradition that we typically show our appreciation to our faculty and staff. So under the action items, I'm asking for the adoption of the resolution regarding the estimated, this is estimated again, because things could change, amount for the levy, approval of the property tax relief grant application, approved Joppa Maple Grove policies, approval of the part-time non-classified staff position, and approval to increase the Joppa Senior High course offerings, possibly beginning in January with the addition of a building and trades course as a pilot program.
Hey Vicki, I know you probably know this, but since it's your first year doing it, there is a deadline of when this has to be to the county clerk, so we need to be sure that our December meeting, we meet and can vote on that before so that you can have it there by that deadline.
Yes, the last Tuesday of the month, and
Okay.
I believe that falls like on the New Year's Day, so we have our meeting the 16th, so I will take it the 17th.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, appreciate it, yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Kevin. Thank you.
7:01.
7:01.
for the board items consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
Stacy,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. Under action items, first is adoption of resolution regarding estimated amounts of tax levy.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. Second is to approve the superintendent to complete the property tax relief grant application.
I'll make
That
that.
motion.
Go. Denise, I'll second.
Denise,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
Danny,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. Next is item C, consideration of Joppa Maple Grove policies 22-140, 2-140E, 2-230, 420, 640, 6340, and 5180.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Stacy,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. Let me,
No.
Okay.
make sure. Make sure I got her name right there. Okay, just want to make sure. Do I?
Never mind, never
No.
mind.
Next is D, consideration and appointment of part-time, non-certified employee to approve the employment of Betty Fry as part-time school nurse.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Oh, sorry.
Kevin, Stacy, I got you anyway. Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. And last is consideration to increase Joppa Senior course offerings, consider the approval of further exploration of construction trade pilot program.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Chris,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Cool, I'll make that one.
Hey, the board would like to thank the Beta Club for
Yes.
supper this evening, and we'd like to invite you to come join us too for dinner.
Michelle, you too.